Welcoming guys to my NFL mock draft. This is going to be the first one of like many I think I'm going to do for the channel here. But I thought again as we're in the playoffs now, really deep in the playoffs now, going into the AFC and the NFC playoff games this weekend. I thought I would give you kind of do my first mock draft of the year. Now again, I haven't watched a lot of these guys yet, so again I'm just in the next coming weeks you're gonna see a lot of more. You're gonna see a lot of different mock drafts from me, some upcoming scout reports, and just kind of what I do kind of after every regular season, where I'm gonna start in the next coming weeks like sitting down and really studying these guys and really giving my full opinion on them, on some of these guys. First off the bat, now again, I look at this quarterback class. So far, it's not impressed me a lot. Now, if you need a quarterback in this draft class, it's the wrong kind of year. I mean, if again, last year wasn't the best. Like again, 2025 wasn't the best year for quarterbacks last year either. Like Cam Ward, Shedeur, you get past Cam Ward and Shedeur in the Jets and Dark, you don't really have much. You go into this one here, and especially the teams that are looking at a quarterback. Um, Again, and now in my mock draft, I haven't done any trades. I've kept the first round pick exactly as it is. So the Raiders have the first round pick. They need a lot of things. Pete Carroll's gone. He's been fired, and they're looking for a new head coach. I don't think they've announced anything yet as head coach wise, but you're looking at really definitely a quarterback. They have to come out of this draft. They have to go into this off season with a draft. Going into next year, they have to have a quarterback because they had Geno Smith there last year, and it was, yeah, he didn't have that same rejuvenation, that energy that he had in Seattle. He left that in Seattle. But for this year, I've gone for Dante Moore. Now a lot of people are saying, "Oh, what about Fernandez Mendoza from Indiana?" Yeah, and Indiana in college again, they had a really impressive year. They won 16 games in a row. They went invincible. They were unbeaten. That's the best ever finish to a season in 132 years. So good for them. But for this, I've gone for Dante Moore. I think again, there's not much picking from these two guys really, Dante Moore and Fernandez Mendoza. It just depends on who's, again, you've got to get who's best on the board. And if Dante Martin's your guy, Dante Moore's your guy, then you go for him at number one. But, um, you know. Then you go for him at number one. Then you look at Fernandez Mendoza. Again, you're looking at the Jets here. They need a quarterback as well. Look at Fernando Mendoza. Definitely need a quarterback. Um, you know, Justin Fields as your quarterback is like, you give him like a 3-year deal, which is not the best. Yeah, Brady Cook again. I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna stay with Aaron Glenn. They're not gonna probably fire him now, because if they were gonna fire him, they would have kind of done it sooner after this. So he's gonna be staying. But yeah, I've gone for Dante Moore number one, and then number two I've gone for Fernandez Mendoza. Then you're looking at me for the Lions here. We need defensive cover. I've been saying it most on the channel here. We need defensive cover. We need to address, especially at secondary. Now again, Kirby Joseph, he's been decent. He's been a good addition for us the last couple of years, but we need to start moving some of these guys on, and especially Kirby Jones. If we do want to be contending for the Super Bowl, we've got to start moving some people on. So, you know, we need to look at like a Pete Woods here at the defensive line. Again, I'm looking at like a Pete Woods from Clemson, or Sonny Styles from Ohio State. One of those guys. Like, we need basically more defensive guys, in. So like a defensive line, a linebacker, you know, DJ Reed, guys, what the fuck was going on with that trade? That was just a disaster. Um, Again, you're looking at other teams on this list, like you're looking at the Steelers just lost Mike Tomlin. Well, Mike Tomlin just parted ways, so he's going to have a year off. Are they going to have Will Howard for the year? Aaron Rodgers, you know, he had a decent year this past year, but not really pulling up trees. Um, so yeah, you know, you're looking at definitely the Cincinnati Bengals. I did a video like a month ago now talking about how Zach Taylor Smith moved on. He's staying for another year. It's just going to be the same here. They need more defensive cover. They need more on that offensive line. Yeah, I just think that's it. And then for the Titans here, I'll talk about the Titans real quick. Titans, they need there's a lot of things they need to address. They need to definitely build around Cam Ward, because there is, again, much as the Titans have stunk this year and they've won like only 3 or 4 games this year, they still they still have a quarterback there that has some potential and that you could build something around. This is kind of reminds me of the thing with Drake May from last year. When we was in this position last year, you just need a couple more additions. And again, it's not about you know, who's best available, and if you can get, you know, you need to build around Cam Ward, but you definitely need to work on everything on the field. You need to look on that secondary. You need to look on the offensive line needs to be addressed. You need weapons around Cam Ward that's actually going to develop him. And you're bringing in a defensive-minded head coach in Robert Saleh. Let's see how that goes, because I'm interested to see how Robert Saleh works with Cam Ward. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. Then you look at the Browns here. Now Browns have like the fourth in currently in the draft, and I don't see them going for a quarterback. They don't really need to get a quarterback. Like they could just just stick with his Shador for a year. Like you're not going to get any better than having a Shador, I think, on your team. And when Shador came in midway through the season, he looked pretty impressive. Now again, he's in a bad team. He's in a really bad team like the Browns, but Stefanski's gone now. Andrew Berry's still the GM. He's going to be assigning another head coach, which kind of concerns me. But again, it's typical skid marks football, baby. They need a lot. They definitely need some more additions on that defense, because again, all of the Browns is like the unit around Cam Ward needs to be addressed. The weapons, the offensive line, but the defense. The only guy in the defense who's been good is Myles Garrett. He's got the most sacks in the regular season. He got that record a few weeks ago. But they need a lot of additions in this team, the Browns. And Jordan Tyson here, from Arizona State, could be again another good option for Shador in year 2. And then just kind of rounding up here, you're looking at you're looking at Denver here. Like again, not really much need. Again, Denver, like you could maybe say like somebody on the offensive line to help protect Bo Nix. But yeah, overall, that's my pick. So there are a couple of guys that I've highlighted that I'm gonna. But yeah, that's my mock draft for round 1. I'll be back probably in another week or 2, so when I've watched some of these guys, I can do a updated version of this mock draft. It's kind of like a bit of random, and it's kind of an everywhere. It's kind of like me just going everywhere with it. But I'm gonna get back here in a few weeks, and I'm gonna do another one. So stay tuned for that.